It's another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of our live Saturday broadcast from InWheelTime.com. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.
It's In Real Time, your weekly award-winning live car talk show. Just ahead, Conrad's Car Clinic, the events calendar, today's auto news. Just ahead in this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Show, along with Mike out of this world Mars over there, praying that we can get finished with this half hour without the police knocking on the door and saying, you guys are going to jail. And King Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. We had a guest that kind of bailed out at the last minute on it. We weren't really quite sure, and I had this brilliant idea. I thought, we were supposed to have Angelica Brothers on last week, and because of some technical issues, we couldn't do that.
Mars.
But I thought, oh, wait a minute. We've got hurricanes a-coming. And all I could think of was the absolute horrible things that happened during Harvey. Now, this is not supposed to be a Harvey event coming up on Tuesday. However,
be prepared.
I will never forget, I went over to Greg Ender's shop. This was after Harvey. And in there was what was an absolutely original, beautiful,
perfect,
my car, 1969 Z28 Camaro, done in the dark green with the black stripes with the original 302 engine in it. It had the original interior in it. It was pristine. Somebody had taken care of one for a Survivor. Well, guess what? Over the roof, underwater, ruined the entire car. Now, since then, they have put the car back together, but
it's not the same.
It's not original any longer. And I thought, I happen to know somebody that might be able to give us some information about car insurance and find out whether or not it is too late to get car insurance for cars like that. And her name is Angelica Brothers, and she is with Haggerty. Now, we put up her picture, but we're going to hear her voice, and there she is right there. Hi, Angelica.
Hi.
It's good.
Can you hear me today?
Yes, we can hear you today. It is a miracle of electronic. It's unbelievable.
I love it.
Yeah, well, we all do too.
Old guy technology rules.
So we called her at the last minute, and she says, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to my son's baseball game, and you cannot put my picture on because apparently it's baseball cap." Yeah, well, we're not. But we have a nice picture of you up there, and so we're just going to listen to your audio.
Well, thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. Well, thank you for doing this last second for us. So you heard the story that I just told, and
yes,
this would have been one of those kind of cars that would be under your wing at Haggerty Insurance, a
Correct.
69 Camaro Z28. And so tell us a little bit about, first of all, is it too late today to get car insurance for my 69 Camaro Z28?
Let's start with the bad news.
Okay.
Yes, it is too late.
Why is it too late?
Pretty much all insurance companies will suspend writing new business or even do an endorsement. So let's say you have a car that only has liability and you get this great idea to put full coverage on it because the hurricane's coming. You can't do that. You can't buy a new policy as soon as they get wind that the weather is going to be bad. They say no more new business.
Okay, so well, that's good to know.
A little pun there, wind of the weather.
Well, and then the reason that I say that it's good to know, because if you've got a car like that, you've got, let's see, the rest of today, you've got Sunday, and you've got most of Monday to get the car out of town and into your safe spot, wherever that may be. And let me just say this about safe spots. And safe is, of course, a relative thing.
Right.
But if you work at a building, say, for instance, they've got a parking garage, a concrete parking garage. Park it up on the third floor where they've got security.
Behind a corner somewhere.
Sure.
So,
It beats the heck.
Yeah,
whatever happens in that garage beats the heck out of having it over the roof in water.
The thing Angela's talking about is Haggerty's not going to compensate for your poor planning.
Well, that's
Plan
true.
Further up ahead,
and that's not just Haggerty; it's all of them.
Right.
No,
because they don't want you to insure it just for 2 weeks because the storm's coming, and then drop the insurance afterwards.
It's not only that. I mean, they've got to worry about the return on their investment and stuff. But like, I didn't know about cars, but I knew houses. There's some people that are supposed to close on a new beach house down in Crystal Beach Monday.
Oh, nice timing.
Well, they can't buy insurance once that storm is into the Gulf of Mexico. That's when the mortgage companies cut it off.
I think I'd delay buying it.
Well, that's what they're going to try and do. You know, they're going to try and do that, but they literally, you can't buy house insurance. So it's good to know cars are very similar.
Yeah.
But the cost of collector car insurance really isn't that bad.
Bad? It's great.
I was going to say, because I've got the Rally insured with Haggerty, and I pay less than $500 a year to have that car insured at an agreed upon value. So why wait? Just get your car insured and keep it insured. If you really value it that much, don't hesitate. After the storm passes, go ahead and get yourself insured.
So, Angelica, tell us about Haggerty and what makes Haggerty different than, say, Allstate or State Farm or AAA.
You mentioned Harvey a little earlier, and
Yes.
I'll tell you something that I love sharing with people. I met, and this is what makes it different. I met so many people after Harvey who had project cars in the garage. They had no idea that they could get insurance because they thought it's not drivable. No insurance company's going to take it. And all the investments and all the hard work they had put into it, it was all lost.
Yes.
Because it got flooded, it's gone. You lose everything.
And that's one of that's what makes part of what makes Haggerty
hard. Yes,
because you can insure your project car. It might not have wheels on it. It might not have the engine in it. It might not have an interior in it. It's not drivable, but it is insurable.
And also, if I'm correct, Angelica, is in that project car insurance, you can include the tools that you have within that, correct?
You can include tools. You can include parts. And then after it's done, and you still have it agreed upon value, like you mentioned, Conrad. And once the car is done, or if it's done, you can get that agreed value on your car.
Yeah, because
we're not going to be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because once it's done, the value's increased quite a bit.
Yes, exactly. And if you don't have a project car and you're safe this time around, as soon as the suspension is lifted, give me a call and I can help you put insurance on that car.
So so how does it work? Let's just say, for instance, that I was unable to save my car. The garage had 2 or 3 feet of water in it, but I'm insured. How is it going to work when I need to collect from the insurance company, from Haggerty?
From Haggerty specifically?
Yes.
We are so easy to work with. And again, I'll mention Harvey again because it was the first year that I started working for Haggerty. And again, so many people came up to me after and said, you guys were the first check that I got. I got a check from you within 2 days after filing my claim. So we take care of it immediately. We knew specifically during Harvey that we probably couldn't get to a lot of the cars because of the circumstances. So we were just going for it and sending you a check right away to help you get started. And that's how it works with us anyway. We try to have a turnaround and 24 to 48 hours for most claims.
Right. And not only covering cars, we were talking to Richard Tomlin a little bit earlier down at Motorsports Resort. You guys also have track day insurance. So if they're down there on and they bring their vehicle to a track, you have like a ride or 1 day policy or a couple of day policy just to cover that same vehicle while it's at the track. Am I correct?
That's right. And it's also agreed value, and it's for most tracks and most track events. And you can buy it for the day, you can buy it for the weekend if it's a whole weekend event.
Yeah.
The price is pretty reasonable considering that you had no other coverage if you don't buy it. So
Yeah,
it's a good deal.
That's true.
The major insurance carriers aren't going to cover squat at the track, and it's nice that Haggerty offers that to your customers.
Yeah. So let me ask
right.
you. Let me ask you another question regarding this kind of coverage that makes Haggerty different. I don't. You don't write policies personally, do you, for Haggerty?
I don't, but I handle the whole process.
Right. So
for you.
how and I think that when you and I worked together when I had the old in-wheel time machine, the '66 Corvair, that I went through Allstate to get that policy.
Yes. So you can either go through me, so that will be a direct policy through Haggerty, or you can talk to your Allstate agent, your farmer's agent, nationwide. We have many, many agents that we work through. If you work through an independent agent, most of them are appointed with us, so they can handle that Haggerty policy for you. That way, if you have everything under one umbrella, just add that Haggerty policy on there, and they can handle it.
Yeah, that way you're still dealing with a single agent if that's the way you want to do it.
Right. But is there any kind of a financial advantage or disadvantage by going through your agent to get my Haggerty insurance?
Not at all. So we will offer you the same exact price, whether you go directly through Haggerty or if you go through your agent.
See, that's good because I like dealing with one person for my car, my house, everything.
Right.
I have a question.
I mean, we have, sure.
I have a question. If I've lost a vehicle to a flood that was parked in my garage, and that's where my rally's parked in my garage, and that's kind of part of my policy is that it's parked in my garage. If I move that car somewhere else because I know my garage is prone to flooding when we get 52 inches in 36 hours, am I still going to be covered if I bring it someplace else just to try and protect it from flood damage?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Because part of like what you said as part of the underwriting is asking where do you usually keep your car? Are you keeping it safe? And we know that collectors do a fantastic job of keeping their car safe. And if you have to take preventative measures to make sure that it stays safe, that's perfectly fine. Not all claims are going to happen at your house anyway. So we completely understand that. And
in fact, I would think you'd kind of
taking it to a safer place that's covered. Yes. Yes. And we even have, again, it's too late to add this to your policy, but we have something called evacuation coverage, which is an endorsement on your policy. And it actually covers any expenses that you have to make to move your car. So if you have to have it towed somewhere to make sure that it's safe, if you have to pay for storage somewhere, we would cover that for you.
Well, that's
I could see that. You could move it out of your garage and move it to a storage
move
facility.
it to higher ground.
Yeah, someplace else. And have a record to it if you can't get it done. That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. So any recommend?
It's cheap too, so look into that.
All right. So where do we find out? You are the insurance queen, and I am the nothing king.
Well, thank you.
And I know nothing about insurance, and I depend on you to guide me through. And I guess that there would be some homework that I would probably behoove myself if I did that. Do a little bit of homework on Haggerty.com, and so I could get some sort of an idea. And you have a tool on there that I can input my car and get an idea of how much it's going to cost.
That's exactly right. And we gather a lot of information from different places. We attend auctions. We keep track of private sales as much as we can, dealer sales, just to make sure that we're keeping up with that market value on all the collector vehicles. So more than likely, you put the information about your car in there, or maybe a car that you're thinking about buying, and you're going to find out what the historical values have been. It's a really neat tool. So if you get a chance to go and play around with it, just Google Haggerty valuation, and you'll get right to it.
And if you go to any major car shows in the Houston area, chances are you're going to see Angelica. Go up to her, tell her hi, and tell her that you heard her on the In Wheel Time show. Angelica, we love you. Thank you so much for the last minute heads up.
Too.
Yeah, and you guys take care and be safe for this next week here.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Angelica Brothers with Haggerty. All right. Time for a quick break. In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. We are all things automotive. Join our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon Central. Conrad has the Car Clinic next on In Wheel Time.
Dude, you may want to slow down. There's a cop car up there. Hey, man, there's another cop. I'd think about putting your seatbelt on if I were you. And if you could sober up in less than 5 seconds, that'd be cool too.
As America gets back on the road, a lot of things have changed, but not the need for drivers to be safe. Cops are enforcing traffic safety laws in our community to save lives. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us anytime during the week, too, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. George Skelton has our address, and he uses it quite frequently.
Yes, he does.
And we love him for that. And George is a longtime friend of mine. He and I went to grade school, junior high, and high school together.
And it was through that George introduced us to Betty Skelton, and we had an opportunity to do a whole show on Betty Skelton a couple of months ago.
And it was great.
Go check us out on the podcast. It was a great show.
Time now for Conrad's Car Clinic, and this week we're talking about power steering. And now, not only do we have hydraulic power steering, we got electric power steering.
Well, and
I'm not exactly sure how that works.
And for you, we used to have Armstrong power steering.
That's exactly right, and I've had lots of those cars.
And if you go back in those days, you know,
The Corvair didn't have power steering.
but the steering wheel was huge. They were 18-inch steering wheels.
You had to crank on
Do you
it.
know why? Because the 18-inch steering wheel gave you better leverage
yeah.
to turn a non-power steering car. And then, you know, probably about the mid-'60s, pretty much everything's had hydraulic power steering. And that's where you can kind of come into some weird, funky noises in your car. You know, you get these squeals or these rattles or these squeaks and stuff that your power steering system tells you, hey, it's time to bring it in and get somebody to look at it, because if you don't deal with that whining noise, it may grow into something else. And by that whining noise, I'm not talking about the person sitting in the passenger side. Don't go there.
or the co-anchor sitting next to you.
You know, like most steering systems on the vehicles, the power steering system requires a special fluid to keep it functioning smooth. And that fluid can get compromised over time through just debris that builds up in there. The fluid gets old and it gets oxidized, or some water intrusion that happens.
It turns black and ugly.
Turns black and ugly, or it can turn milky if it gets some kind of moisture inside of it. And that's when you need to change the fluid. And like all fluids in your vehicle, you need to change them with some frequency. But I'm going to tell you, today's cars, probably less than 50% of them have a hydraulic power steering system on it.
Less than 50?
Less than,
Wow.
yeah, easily less than 50. The cars that they're building today, I'm going to say a vast majority of them have an electronic power steering system.
How does that work?
Different ways is how it works. Some of them use a magnetic system that helps you when you turn the wheel to assist you in turning the wheels. Kind of the magnets kind of pull the wheel with you. Some of them use servos and electric motors that help you turn the wheel. And some of them use an electric motor that drives a hydraulic pump, and you still have a hydraulic power steering system. The benefit of that is they took the pulley off the engine and they drive it with an electric pump, and that way you're not dragging down the fuel economy because you're trying to drive the power steering pump.
You're dragging down the battery instead.
Well, when you're running on the alternator. You're not really running on the battery. So they all do it a little bit different, but if the current electronic power steering systems are actually going to set a check engine light if there's an issue with it. So it'll turn that little check engine light on your dash because it's reading.
You mean the little yellow teapot?
The little yellow teapot.
I thought that was the oil light.
No, you're right. That is the oil light. The MIL, malfunction indicator lamp, and some of them do it different ways. But yeah, it'll be a yellow light on.
The teapot. I heard that the other day. I thought, are you kidding me? The lady calls it a teapot on the dashboard.
And if it's on yellow, you can continue to drive. If it's flashing yellow, find a quick place to stop and get the vehicle towed in. That flash is saying, hey, there's something bigger wrong, and we don't want it to get worse. And then you go to the complex systems like the Infinity, where when you're driving the vehicle, the steering is totally steer-by-wire. that there is no connection between the steering wheel
That's scary.
and the front suspension.
Kind of like the accelerator.
Exactly. So, and that's where it comes. You were talking a little bit earlier how they can tune the system, the power steering system. Well, they can tune these electronic ones for more or less feedback. Now, on the Infinity system, if all fails, the electronics fail, and it goes back to a manual connection there, so that opening closes up. Yeah, but if your power steering system's making noise or if it's becoming stiff, take it to a professional, let them look at it, let them do something about it. On the hydraulic ones, if you keep the fluid changed on a regular interval, highly probable you won't have any problems with it at all.
Okay, well, thank you, sir. This reminder, if you belong to a car, truck, or Jeep club, we'd love to feature your group here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Just send us the info and the contact information, of course, to info@inwheeltime.com. No, we do not sell any of that stuff. We'll put you in touch with whoever you need to be in touch with, and we'll put your bunch in our car club spotlight. Do you have an events calendar?
We already did events.
Oh, we did?
But that's okay. Yeah, I do have an events calendar, but I think we've already covered both events and calendar.
Oh, okay.
But the big thing is on the 5th of September is Houston Motorsports Park. I know Gina's listening, so we'll throw her another pitch here.
Yes.
Go out there at Houston Motorsports Park for the Advanced Auto Parts.
And I have to tell you, last Saturday night was such a thrill for me. I had, for the first time, I got to drive the pace car.
There's videos of you driving the pace car.
And it was, because I'm listening to the race director, not Gina, but the guy that's actually calling the shots. And he tells me when to go. Okay, you need to speed up a little bit, go slower, collect the field.
And if you listen to one of the videos, you can hear Gina saying, "Who's talking to the pace car driver? Get him off the track."
Oh my God!
It was fun. It was funny. It was funny. Yeah, you got rookie stripes on the back of the pace car, 2 yellow stripes on the back bumper.
I don't anymore.
I watched some of the video though. You did a very, very good job. I bet you that Corvette had a blast doing that.
Yeah, the first question I asked was, how fast do I go?
How fast can you go?
No, how fast do I go to pace the field? How fast do you think I go?
50?
45.
50,
I would
60
say
miles
30,
an hour?
30. For some reason, just 30 comes to mind.
Between 25 and 35, depending on the cars.
You're coming out of the turn in second gear.
No. Once I get out there and I'm pacing the field, I got to hold my speed steady.
No, I'm thinking about them and why they're doing that speed so that they can accelerate coming out of that turn.
Well, it's not that, because the field once I get past a certain point on the track and the lights are out, and next time by you I got to get off the track at a certain point, so I nail it and get off the track. Because listen, to have all that horsepower behind you and you can hear them and you can see them in the rear view mirror doing one of these, scrubbing the tires off.
Did you have fun?
I had an absolute blast.
That's cool. So, Gina, Don wants to do it again.
Yeah, I'm raising my hand for that every time. So, at any rate, not next Saturday, but the Saturday,
5th.
The 5th, Labor Day weekend, big race, Houston Motorsports Park on Saturday night. Be there at 6 o'clock. Racing starts at 7. We got more of the In Wheel Time show right after this.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
He is
multi-talented.
A nerd.
I'm trying to reach out to my fan.
Yeah, your fan.
Zeke, we need more Jeff, and this is my fan is Kathy Zekin.
Oh my God. Couple of headlines I wanted to bring to your attention today on the In Wheel Time Show. At Bollinger Motor, things are starting to move faster now. Suburban Detroit electric vehicle startup said Tuesday that it is in the process of doubling its staff and has opened a new headquarters and engineering center. Bollinger. Okay, nearly 5 times larger than the original building. CEO Robert Bollinger told Automotive News that the last 2 remaining hurdles, securing the investments to take the B1 utility, B2 pickup, and 2 electric chassis models from concept to production, and inking a deal with a contract manufacturer, are close to being resolved. Bollinger Motors. I know. Good luck.
So did you hear Mary Barra, the head of General Motors, her compensation for 2019 was $22 million? And I think GM lost market share.
You know, that's just not right. Sorry.
I'm going to try and set up an interview with her.
Do
you
that.
Ask her about that.
Yeah. Hey, Mary, so what are you going to do with that extra change in your pocket next week?
Well, and on top of that, Chevrolet has issued a stop sale on the Corvettes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because the frunk, F-R-O-N-K, the front trunk is popping open at speed and whacking the windshield.
Oh, that's not good.
Not a good day.
And speaking of GM may be adding the GMC Sierra Swiss Army knife of a tailgate to the Chevy Silverado lineup. GMTrucks.com reports. Tailgate, which GM Trucks says will be called Multi-Flex, would mirror the popular Multi-Pro tailgate offered on the GMC Sierra. We knew that was coming. More than 70% of Sierra 1500 and 85% of Sierra heavy-duty pickups sold this year were equipped with GMC's Multi-Pro tailgate. Multi-Pro tailgate standard on the SLT, AT4, and the Denali trims. And it's expensive, too. It's not cheap.
No, but as they make the trucks taller from the ground, I mean, the taller tires and wheels, the side beds are taller, it's harder to get stuff out of there. You got to be able to get up in there.
And I'd be wrong if I didn't mention that President Trump on Wednesday called for a boycott of Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, accused the Ohio-based company of playing politics by forbidding workers from donning the Make America Great Again caps favored by his supporters.
Or Blue Lives Matter.
He said it was disgraceful that the company would prevent employees from wearing attire supporting Blue Lives Matter. That supports law enforcement while allowing support for other causes, which he described as Marxist in nature. So there's that.
Toyota is still in a class action lawsuit over using soy-based wire insulation. Remember, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that class action lawsuit is moving along according to a recent Ninth Circuit ruling in California.
Well, maybe that's what the squirrels like underneath my hood.
Well, that's very possible. But, yeah, Toyota's going to pay out a lot of money on that deal.
Yikes. Well, you know, that is just plain ugly any way you look at it. Well, you know what that sound is? It's the end of the show.
We made it.
It's a miracle.
Thanks, George.
True.
Thanks, George.
Thank you. Yeah, it is. Thank you. Well, that is it for today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Hey, when you're on Facebook, please give us a like. You'll get Conrad's unicorn hunting features there, along with all things automotive. If you missed a show or even a little chunk of it, you can find it online. Our website is inwheeltime.com and YouTube. Podcasts of the show can be had through Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcasts, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict, among others. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer, David Ainsley, thanks for coming by and fixing all of our stuff this week. Our Video Technical Director and Sales Expert, Jeffrey Thumbs Zekin. Thank you, sir. Special thanks to all of our guests today. For Mike Out of This World Bars and King Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Thank you for following the In Wheel Time Car Show. Be sure to catch our show online each and every Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. We'll see you then, and you may now put your clothes back on.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for checking us out. Don Armstrong saying be sure and join us live every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on YouTube, Facebook, and InWheelTime.com. Our podcasts are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. We'll see you next time.